Okay, so the next method we're going to do, and here is an example of it. This is actually from Alice Keeler, and she creates a direction slide. And notice it's gotten inserted a few different times. That's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then she creates a student slide. On the direction slide, they can't click anywhere and do anything to it. They could add a text box, but then they'd be adding to the slide. It really is not going to hurt it. This just has add your name, and they had to type their name in. And you can rename it as the student slide. So how do you do this? All right, I'm going to come here, and again, I'm going to go to slides.google.com/create, and we're going to call this. Okay, we're going to come over here and we're going to close our theme because we're not going to use a theme. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come to the slide that is automatically created for you, and you're going to right click and you're going to click delete. All right, so you have no slides open. You're then going to go to view and you're going to go to the master. Notice we've got all these different templates to pick from. You're going to click here and you're just going to delete. Okay, we don't have any layouts. This one you can't get rid of. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to add a new layout. And we don't want this here, so I'm going to click on it and delete it. So now I'm going to customize this. I can rename it, and I'm going to call this directions. Right, so now it is called, I'm editing it, it's called directions. I am going to add a background, and I really like the idea of making my direction slide a different color than the color of the slide where the students are going to answer. So I'm going to go ahead and right click and change the background. I'm going to go to color, and I can choose a solid color. I happen to like the gradients, and so I can come here and I can pick a color, and then I can say done. Don't make it real complicated. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a text box. Now this is my text box. This is a placeholder. When you're creating your actual student slide, you will actually do this. But to create a text box for everything that we're going to add to our slide, we're going to click that. We're going to draw our box. We can come up here and use the same menu that we would use otherwise. I'm going to choose my font, choose my size, and then I'm going to call this directions. Okay, then I'm going to come down here and get another text box, and I am going to create a text box. In here, I will actually type my directions. They're going to be on the master. That means the students can't go in and change them. All right, so I'm going to add my instructions here. All right, once I'm done typing in my instructions, I like to personalize my directions, something that Alice Keeler recommends, and I've seen it elsewhere. So I might want to go in and add a picture of a little GIF or something. It's up to you. I happen to have the Bitmoji app here. So all I have to do is right click on it, copy the image, come down here, right click, paste, and I've got the image. All right, now I'm done my direction slide. The next thing I'm going to do is add another slide. I am again going to get rid of this. I'm going to do a right click. I am going to change the background, pick a color. I like gradients. I already told you that. I'm going to pick a blue for this one, say done. And then I'm going to go back through that same process, but it's a little bit different. Again, the text that I want me to type in, I am going to click the text box, and then I'm going to type in here. And let's make this one, we'll make it this font. We'll make it big, and we will type in name. Okay, now they're not able to type next to that, so I have to add another placeholder. We'll call it a title placeholder because we want it big, and we'll give them that much space to actually type their name. We're not going to delete anything in there, just leave it. All right, so the next thing they need to be able to do is type whatever you have them doing. So I can put in a body placeholder if they're older kids and going to type more. If they're younger kids and they're going to be typing less, I might put in the subtitle placeholder. It's a little bit smaller font that defaults to, and I'm done. Here I can change again my font. And then again, I can put in a placeholder. I can use a shape and just say, draw something here and double click in it, say add image here. They can just place it over that. They can, it's not going to really be a big deal. If I want it centered, I'm going to come over here, add it there, and I'm done. Okay. Now, when I go out of here, click over here, go to my little drop down, and I have two options. I have my directions slide and I have my student slide. And I forgot to rename that one, but you saw how to rename it. Call that student. So here's my directions. I close the document with this open, okay? I again go into my Google Classroom. I assign it the same way, same sharing, and I want my students to edit this. When they come in, they're going to come down here to the drop down, and I could give them the first couple times a little kind of handout on how to do this with pictures, and they're going to choose the student slide, which I didn't rename, and they're going to come here, and then they can click here and they can type their name. They'll come down here and click, and they will type in their text, and then they will go wherever they're going to go to get their image and bring it in, and they can add it here. Whether it covers that or not, I can make that box smaller, but just I want them to add an image. That's it. That's all there is to it. Each student is going to go in there and click add, click add. And by the time you're done, what you're going to do is you're going to come here, and you can do this on both types of collaborative slides. Come down here to the bottom. You're in presentation mode. We're going to come to grid view. And so in grid view, I can see every slide that every student is working on. I can read their name because I made it big enough. I took the heading font, and I will be able to see every slide. I can come here, click on this one, double click, open it, read it, come back to grid view. I can add comments to it if I want to. If I open it up, how do I add comments? I highlight the text, I come up here to comment, and it's going to add the comment. I didn't actually do it all. Type my comment in, the student will see it. They're getting feedback as they're working. They're able to make those changes as they're working. They'll be able to be more productive and do what is required, learning as they're actually creating rather than turning it in and getting a bad grade. They can do it on the fly. With collaborative slides, while they're doing this, you're giving them feedback, watching what they're doing, sitting next to them, doing some one-on-one or small group work. You're interacting with your students. Okay, some different ideas for actually using this activity. We just did one with a selfie or a GIF or whatever to show how they feel about a topic, reflect on a topic. You can give them a simple question or a prompt. You can have them create ads. You can have them create billboards. This can be about the topics that they're studying in the classroom. They can create graphic organizers while they're working on their slide. Google Slides has all kinds of graphic tools that are built in. Almost everything that is in Google Drawings is like right here. They can create a infographic. You might show them some examples of infographics and let them create their own on the topic that they've just learned about. You can check for understanding. Beginning of the class, end of the class, just let them reflect on what they've learned. When you're creating this, if you need to do this on the fly, if you hold down the Control or Command key and hit T, you get a new tab. Type in slides.google.com/create. You create your new slide presentation. Makes it fast. I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you online.